In the future, I'm gonna look back and be embarrassed that I've recorded myself crying on camera, but today's not that day. Hey, what's up you guys? It's Avery and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who have never been here before, welcome, glad you're here. Now, if you're reading the title of this video, you might be confused, especially if you have been watching my channel. You know that recently I haven't been one for contemporary romances. And a few months ago, I made a video about November 9 by Colleen Hoover, and I pretty much trashed the entire book. Sorry if you're a fan of that book or this author. So you might be surprised that in today's video, I will be reading It Ends With Us. I don't know, guys, I don't know. I'm reading this because my roommate Kylie had it, who I did a video with on my channel a few weeks ago, so go check that out. And her sister recommended it to her, and I've told her that I read another book by Colleen Hoover and I literally hated it. I gave it 1 star, but Kylie said she really enjoyed this one, and so I trust her opinion, and I think I'm in a much better headspace to maybe go into a contemporary romance. I think I'm going to go into it knowing what it is, knowing how these books are, and to just enjoy it. Whereas I think that's not where I was when I read November 9. I was just like, this is so dumb. And so now I think I'm just going to try to enjoy it for what it is, even if it is dumb, and even if there's dumb tropes or it's cliche. I think I'm just going to have fun with it. So a little bit of a different side of Avery. I mean, as everyone is aware, this book is probably one of the most popular books on the internet right now. I think I would venture to say it's the most popular book on the internet. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it is. So it's about a girl named Lily, and she's from a small town in Maine. She has moved to Boston, graduated college, started her own business, and she starts a little relationship with a neurosurgeon named Ryle Kincaid, and everything in her life seems too good to be true. Ryle is assertive, stubborn, and maybe even a little arrogant. He's also sensitive, brilliant, and has a total soft spot for Lily. But Ryle's complete aversion to relationships is disturbing, which, once again, cynic Avery is not trying to insert herself, but complete aversion to relationships, bye. If it was me, I'd be like, bye. But I'm gonna keep my mind clear for Lily and just try and feel what she's feeling. As questions about her new relationship overwhelm her, so do thoughts of Atlas Corrigan, her first love and a link to the past she left behind. He was her kindred spirit, her protector. When Atlas suddenly reappears, everything Lily has built with Ryle is threatened. Crazy. I feel like I know a little bit about this book and who she ends up with based on just things I've seen on the internet, but I'm excited to just jump in, really dive into this romance, go in, like I said, with a positive attitude, and to just enjoy this summer read. I'm gonna just make it a fun summer read. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing in this video. I am going to vlog my reading of the book, so the vlog portion is going to have spoilers, but I will have a spoiler-free review that you can skip to, and then also a spoiler-free part of the video. So just check the timestamps in the description if you want to jump through the spoilers if you haven't read it yet. But I'm excited to give it a go. Let's begin. It begins with us. Right now. Right now.
Okay, I just read the first chapter of It Ends With Us, and I actually really enjoyed it, a lot. I really appreciate books that jump right into the plot right away. I don't love a first chapter that's just introducing you to the character and the situation. That's fine. I don't hate it, but I really appreciate when something interesting happens in the first chapter of the book, and that's what happens here. So I really like that. Lily meets Ryle, and they have a little moment, but then he leaves and seems like they're never going to see each other again. Gee, I wonder if that's going to happen. But she also was talking about the eulogy that she gave at her father's funeral, and I literally laughed out loud. So funny. Literally, that's queen behavior. So that was funny. Anyway, so yeah, I liked the first chapter, so off to a good start. Okay, I'm already 100 pages in today. I've been reading it really quickly. It's a very quick, easy read, which I really like. And y'all, I kind of like it. So obviously her and Ryle, their relationship is really kicking in. I haven't really seen much with Atlas. We're just reading the diary entries about them meeting and then, starting to build their relationship, but it's mainly Ryle based. And I feel like she ends up with Atlas. I don't know why. That's just like in my head. Like maybe that's just completely wrong. But like I love her and Ryle. Like I love Ryle. And they basically just decided to like start dating like without him like trying to sleep with her so that he can prove that that's not all he wants from her. And so that's kind of where we're at right now. Like I said, I'm like 100 pages in. Yeah, it's just kind of fun. Like I'm enjoying it. I actually am. It's like fun. Okay, Lily just ran into Atlas at dinner with Ryle. I'm kind of shook. I wasn't expecting that. I'm kind of shook. Y'all, I'm like low-key invested in this book. I want to know what happens. Like, I want to know who she ends up with because I like Ryle and I like Atlas. Like, I like them both. Oh my gosh. I'm kind of shook. Who would have thought? Me. Wow. Y'all, things are crazy. Ryle just pushed Lily. Hello? I was not expecting that at all. Like, I'm literally so shook, and she's so shook, but she's also, like, trying to make excuses for it, even though it reminded her of her father, who's abusive to her mother, and it's like, come on, girl. He literally shoved her, and then she ended up with an injured eye because of it. I just can't. Like, I can't right now. I just want her to, like, be like, bye. Like, bye, we're done. But I obviously know that's not gonna happen. And she feels all these complicated feelings, but I'm like, Atlas would never. This is insane. Y'all, I'm freaking out. Atlas is the owner of the restaurant. He's the chef. And he comes out and he sees Lily's eye and the bandage around Ryle's fist. And he's like shook. And I can't. Wait, why am I liking this book? Alright, just finished part 1. I have so many thoughts, but also not even that many thoughts. Here's my prediction. Okay, let's do a little prediction. I think that Ryle is gonna freak out on her again and hurt her again. I feel like Atlas is gonna come to her rescue. Her and Atlas are gonna end up together. That's my prediction. Crazy. Just ignore the hat because I'm cool, okay? I'm cool. She married him. That's all I have to say. Ryle just pushed her down the stairs. I mean, I knew it would happen. Still shook, but I knew it. And she kicked him out of the apartment. So I'm hoping it sticks. I'm hoping she doesn't take him back. She said the second time this happens, I'm done. And I'm just hoping that, just because they're married now, that she doesn't, like, stay with him. Oh my gosh, I turned the camera on right as the tear fell. That was amazing. This is me right after finishing the last chapter. I haven't read the epilogue yet. And I've heard the epilogue and then also the author's note at the end are like just both really good. So I'm excited to read those, but like literally reading that last sentence of the chapter, it ends with us, like, stop. So good, like, so good. I'm gonna finish it, I'm gonna read the epilogue, and then we're gonna wrap this up.
In the future, I'm gonna look back and be embarrassed that I've recorded myself crying on camera, but today's not that day. Just finished reading the epilogue and the author's note. I mean, I've been crying. Can you tell on camera? Oh. You can tell. Anyway, I'm gonna do a more comprehensive review later, but safe to say, this book tore me up. Really liked it though. And I thought it was done very, very well. She kind of killed this one. Anyway, I'll talk about it more later, but I just wanted to show my reaction to the epilogue and the author's note because I've been broke so many times I don't know what to believe. If this was tea, y'all, I'll be spilling it. Okay, you guys, my final thoughts on It Ends With Us. I finished it yesterday, and I read that book in like 24 hours. Not even just because I wanted to get through it quickly because I wanted to like film this video, literally because I wanted to keep reading it and I like had to know what was going to happen next. No one is more shook than me that I liked this book so much. I might be the only person in the world who gave November 9 1 star on Goodreads and gave It Ends With Us 5. Like, I don't know if I simply went into it with a better attitude, or I think it's just written better. I really had a problem with the plot of November 9, like the entire premise of the book I thought was really dumb, whereas this one I thought was not like that. So my non-spoiler review is that I really enjoyed this book, and I am a critic when it comes to contemporary romances. Like, as I've talked about, I haven't been a big fan recently, and surprisingly this one was really good. The characters were very interesting. You're just so invested in all of the relationships. I really just thought that this was a story about a love triangle, and that was like the main plot. That is not the main plot at all. It's more intense than that, so definitely some like content warnings for domestic abuse and sexual assault. So if those are things that you don't feel comfortable reading about, definitely skip this book. It's not for you. But other than that, I thought that it was really well done and a great story with a great like message as well. So that's my spoiler-free review. Who would have thought little old me would have just been a fan, but I am. Okay, now for the bit with some spoilers in it. So if you don't want to be spoiled, don't watch this part. Don't get me wrong, there were cheesy parts in it, for sure. But I liked how the main message wasn't about like the love triangle, and it really focused on Lily and her relationship with Ryle and how abusive it was and how she felt so conflicted about it, especially because she had seen her mother go through an abusive relationship her whole life. But now she's fallen in love with a man who is also sometimes abusive to her, and like she has a hard time understanding it in her brain. And that was just like so, I don't know, I thought it was so compelling. And I just felt for her. I just really felt for her. I know some of the clips, I was like, oh my gosh, just leave him, just leave him. But I really did start to feel for her near the end, and I was like there with her. I was really there with her. I just really liked how it showed how much Lily loved Ryle and why she chose to stay with him after the first 2 times, especially after the second time finding out that he had that really horrible trauma from his childhood. And so she decided she wanted to, you know, stay with him. Because the first 2 times, don't get me wrong, it's inexcusable what he did to her, but it really did make it seem like he had just gotten like angry and it had been like a super quick heat of the moment thing, which is still unacceptable. But I understood, especially with his trauma, how she was like, you know what, if we work on it, make him step away, we can work on this. But then the 3rd time, that was like not just like a quick thing of anger, that was like insane. Like he literally like lost his mind and went absolutely psycho. And so that was so intense to read about. I was like just so shook. It was horrible to read about. And then her getting pregnant is just, oh my gosh, literally my heart dropped when I read that. And the fact that like he would have to be in her life now for the rest of her life because they have a child together. It's pretty insane. I really liked Atlas's character. I know we didn't really see much of him, but from what we did see, he just seemed like such a great dude. And so I really liked him and Lily's relationship. But I appreciated how the end of the book wasn't like, oh, they're getting together happily ever after. I liked how it was about Lily deciding what was best for her and her child. And then in the epilogue, we see her meet Atlas again, and like that's exciting too. But it was like that was not like the main focus of the book, which I really liked. So I think that is part of the reason why I really liked this book, is that though romance was a big part of it, it was not really like the forefront, and especially at the end, it was not what it was focused on. As you saw a few clips ago, the last lines, like literally, I started crying immediately. She's talking about the cycle of abuse, and she says to her daughter, "It stops here with me and you, it ends with us." I was literally just like, wow, wow. Like, look, I'm getting teary-eyed thinking about it. And then, like I said, I really enjoyed the epilogue. That was great. And then the author's note at the end, someone told me to read that, because I honestly I probably would have skipped it if someone hadn't told me to read it, but I'm so glad I did. And the fact that this story was like loosely based off of Colleen Hoover's parents, it just like added even more to the story, and I just appreciated it even more. I think it was really important how, and she talks about this in her author's note, how a lot of people, it's easy to look at an abusive relationship and just ask, why doesn't the woman leave? Like, why doesn't she leave, you know? When in reality, there's so many reasons why a woman would be stuck in that relationship. Sometimes it's financial, like she literally can't leave, especially if she has children to support, because she needs financial support from the abuser. But also because they do love the abuser, and it's so like easy to say, how could you love someone who's done that to you? But it's just so much more complicated than it's made out to look. So I just appreciated like a deeper dive into that part of domestic abuse, because I don't have any personal experience with it. So it was a really interesting to learn about through this contemporary romance book. Wow, who would have thought? Not me. I think maybe I just struck out with the first Colleen Hoover book that I read. I think that November 9 was just not it for me. It was very immature feeling for me, and that's why I didn't like it. But this book is like just was so well done, and so she kind of redeemed herself with this one. I was talking to my mom, I said, I think I need to read another one to know whether like this one is a fluke, or if November 9 is just maybe not her best, but she has better ones. So I think I will definitely read another Colleen Hoover book. I'm not so turned off against it like I once was. And my friend Kylie, who you've seen on this channel before, told me that there is a sequel coming out called It Starts With Us. So I will definitely be reading that. So I was very excited to hear that. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing me experience this book. I know I'm so late. I know I'm so late to the game, but like I said, I was very turned off from Colleen Hoover from my first experience, but now I'm glad that I got to it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. Also, make sure to follow me on Instagram, which is linked down below, to get more updates on my reading life and all that jazz. Also, make sure to check the description and use my link and my code Avery10 to get 10% off of Ana Luisa's jewelry. They made these two earrings that I'm wearing right now, which I absolutely love. They have beautiful jewelry, so I 100% recommend checking out their website. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.